Welcome to another podcast of Unfiltered Gupshup. Unfiltered Gupshup is a podcast offering raw, candid conversation on a variety of topics ranging from culture and social issues to personal growth and current events. The podcast features unfiltered discussion that aims to inspire, entertain, and provoke thought, all while maintaining authentic, engaging tone. Unfiltered Gupshup provides a space for real talk without any boundaries. Also, it celebrates people behind the podcast, the almighty power, family, the community, and AB photos, of course, for all the efforts behind it. I'm so much glad that I have helping people around me. And today's our guest is Mr. Surya. Thank you and welcome to Unfiltered Gupshup's podcast. And I wanted to introduce Mr. Surya to the audience that he has been in this triangle area since 2005 and lives in Cary with his wife and 2 kids. Passionate about health and nutrition since childhood, Surya has learned Acupressure at the age of 21 and Reiki at the age of 25, meditation, yoga, Mudras, Kriyas. His diploma in health coaching from IIN, New York in 2014, followed by Nutritional Response Testing, aura reading, etc. And his holistic health coach. He is a holistic health coach. Surya empowers individuals to regain control over their health, guiding them to make sustainable life changes that support balance blood sugar levels, reduce their high blood pressures, thyroid, stress through his HHH Framework. That is holistic, harmonious, and healing power. Welcome to Unfiltered Gupshup USS podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Aditi ji, for having me on your show. It's an honor and privilege to be part of your show.
Thank you. So how do different traditions define harness the concept of life energy, whether it is Shakti, Chi or Ki? What is it? How do you differentiate between these things?
Honestly, there is no difference because it is the same universal consciousness or the power, what we call as the prana shakti, and what Japanese call it as the ki, or the Chinese called as the shi. You take it, it's all the same. All we are trying to do is trying to connect to the higher consciousness through various sadhanas. The Buddhists, be it in the Chinese, be it in the Tibet or be it in the Japan or various parts of the world, or our sadhus or any other person, when they actually are meditating, they are connecting their to the highest consciousness through a particular practice. And this practice can slightly be different in terms of the practicing, learning the practice and things like that. However, the bottom line is to getting connected to the divine consciousness out there. So in our yogic system, that we start with yogasanas, we do the pranayamas, so many other things. And all this is very similar to what even the Buddhist monks and other people do.
That's so nice.
If you take on the other side, if you take the Native Americans, or if you take the Hawaiian Islanders, their traditions are slightly different. But if you really see, everything is connected to the nature. Every aspect of it is connected to the nature. And beyond anything, if you look at this Hawaiian Islanders, Ho'oponopono.
Yes, I was going to say that.
It is, like if you really understand that simple thing, that is so much, all they would say is, when you speak something, say it from your heart, from within. That very emotion, what we call it as bhavam, right? That is there everywhere, even here or be it Buddhist or anything like that. We use the same bhavam.
Yes.
Without that emotion attached to your words, it has no meaning to it.
Yes.
And when that emotion gets attached to the word, that becomes a mantra.
Yes.
That is an affirmation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Even Ho'oponopono, I'm sorry. How do I sound it? I'm sorry. It's coming from within. Rather than I saying, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Coming from the tip of your tongue.
Yes.
Right? Please forgive me. Coming from within.
Yes.
I love you.
Yes.
Where is it coming from? It has to come from within. Right? And to have this kind of a practice, that we have this sadhana, we are cleansing our chakras, we are cleansing our minds, we are cleansing our organs, detoxifying your body, detoxifying your mind. Finally, you're getting to that conscious state, but it takes time.
Yes.
It's a journey. It's a journey. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yes.
You have to start somewhere.
Yes. Can you explain the connection between chakras and our physical emotions, spiritually, well-being?
Okay. I mean, most of the people might have, usually when we see that, somebody is sitting in a Padmasana and then they show different chakras and different Beja Aksharas associated with it, right? So the Mooladhara, which is at the root of your spine, right? That's the Mooladhara. So that Mooladhara basically shows how stable a person is. Okay? It's not only that, it's even towards the materialistic world also, in terms of the money and things like that. Right? And that Lam is the Bija Akshara. Lam.
Okay.
Okay? And the color associated with it is red.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And when you say Lam, there is a frequency associated to it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's 396 hertz. Okay?
Okay.
The color, when, if you just look at our Hindu puja, vidhana and everything like that, when we worship, we bring in flowers of different colors.
Yes.
Right? We have chandan, we have javadu and many other, flavorful kind of this thing, which actually when we are spraying it, you smell it. That's aromatherapy.
Yes.
The colors, if you keep on watching that, if it is a rose petal, if you just observe that, your root chakra is getting energized.
Okay.
The green is for your heart, the leaves are for your heart.
Yeah.
Purple, violet is for your sahasrara.
Yes.
So every chakra has a color associated to it, has a bij akshara associated to it, has a frequency associated to it. Okay?
Yes.
So when we might not actually think about all this, but if you take these into consideration and next time when you're actually doing a puja, try to focus on that as well. You'll have the color therapy done, okay? You'll have the sound therapy.
Yeah.
And you'll the aromatherapy, if you're inhaling the incenses, you're actually opening up your channels. Your breathing is improving.
Yes.
You're cleansing your body from inside. Mind is purified.
Yes.
That is the reason many a times, and even that increases our focusedness, and that takes us closer to divinity, the higher consciousness.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm thinking that while I'm doing puja, what kind of things I keep around, the significance now I'm understanding more.
Yeah.
Thanks for this.
Sure, definitely.
How does acupressure work to balance energy flow, and can it be integrated with chakras or healing techniques?
Absolutely. So when we speak about acupressure, it's basically that, there are thousands and thousands of points on a body, right from the top of your head to the tip of your toes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
There are what we call as nadis which are running.
Yes.
Right? The nervous system is all connected. Chinese, they call it as meridians. I mean, the English word for that is meridians, what we call as nadis.
Yeah.
So I won't even say inch, every millimeter of a body has an acupressure point.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So what I usually suggest to my clients, or I personally do, is first activate my acupressure points.
Yeah.
The first thing I start doing is, before I get started, I would like to do it on my thumb. Okay? This is your head.
Okay.
The whole head is here. If you massage your thumb, you feel some kind of a pain, and usually the pressure that is needed is called as a 3-pound pressure. Okay? You need to be a little bit more with the pressure. When you actually apply that pressure, you feel some discomfort. That's only because the circulation, the nervous system to your head is slightly clogged.
Oh.
So by massaging it, you're improving the circulation to your head. Okay? Then I do it to my lungs, which is right here.
Okay.
Okay? When I massage that, my lungs kind of open.
Yes.
Okay? Similarly, I do it on my heart.
Okay.
This pinky finger is your heart meridian. The heart meridian runs through it. So massaging it here, massaging it here, massaging it here, activates my heart chakra. Okay? So when I'm energizing, why yogis actually used to do so many asanas, out of which some were like duplicates. So many were like, they were the same kind of a thing. The only intent was to sit in a posture and meditate for 3 to 4 hours continuously without moving their body.
Okay.
Okay? That was the main intent. So when we are actually trying to do this acupressure beforehand, before we start your pranayama or anything, you're trying to increase your heart capacity, your lung capacity, your brain capacity. Now when you breathe, inhale, you'll be able to inhale more.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
This inhalation is what is raising your consciousness from one chakra to the other.
Yes.
From
So
your
beautiful.
Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agnyaya, Sahasrara.
Yes.
So your consciousness basically moves upwards. Your Kundalini Shakti moves upwards. So by activating these acupressure points, you're actually releasing the stress in those organs. Okay? And enabling more energy for yourself so that you could do your pranayama much better.
That's wonderful. So, what's some of the powerful mudras that can help the stress life and focus on the spiritual awakening?
Okay. Stress life. Okay. Like, the stress could be, I can see it in different ways, basically. Someone, if your heart is like, your mind is really stressed out and things like that, or your heart is pounding, then there is this mudra where you take your 2 fingers in between, put it in the center of your palm, cover it with your thumb, put it like this on both hands, and slowly start breathing. And while breathing, internally, if you can chant Gum, 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 this Gum mantra, this mudra basically calms down your mind, reduces your stress, your blood pressure, your heart rate.
Okay, that's wonderful to know.
This is one mudra. And another mudra which I'm a big fan of is Mrit Sanjeevani mudra.
Okay.
When I say that, Mrit Sanjeevani, it's like somebody who is in a stage of death with a severe pain in his heart can actually come out of that heart attack. Or rather than we doing it, waiting for the heart attack to happen, if you practice it 15 minutes every day, the chances of your heart attacks will reduce.
Okay.
Because doing this mudra, putting your index finger on this part of your thumb, and then doing it like this, touching these two, putting it like this, and closing your eyes and trying to focus inward. If you're doing this mudra, the chances of collateral arteries forming is much higher. So your heart is getting strength. The heart muscle is getting the strength. That is the reason this is called as Mrit Sanjeevani mudra. Whenever your energy levels are down, this is called as a prana mudra. You join your little finger and the ring finger to your thumb, and then these two together. And then do slow breathing. And anytime I would suggest to close your eyes rather than opening your eyes and looking outside. Even if it is a glare of a look, don't do that. If you focus inwards, the energy will focus inside, towards the inside. So always close your eyes and practice any of these mudras.
Yeah.
The higher states of practices are like this, with severe, rishis and all that. They take their conscious with their eyes open, they do it. That's a different level. That's a different level of meditation.
So how do mudras, sound frequency, influence our energy field? What are some ancient chants still irrelevant today?
The mudras.
Yes.
And what was your...
And the sound frequency.
The sound frequencies, yes. Basically, as I've been mentioning, that every chakra is associated with some frequency, right? Chakra is a focal point which is kind of connecting to several organs around it, right? If you look at the Swadhisthana, right? Swadhisthana is the region between your genital to your belly button, in between navel, in between it is there, right? So that organs which are associated is the digestive, the intestines and the spleen and many other which are associated with it, they have a certain frequency at which they operate. Every organ has a frequency at which it operates,
Yes.
right? So when you chant any mantra as such, usually it is suggested not to chant the bija aksharas for longer duration. Never do that.
Okay.
Because you know what? You don't know if you're overusing that particular energy to that particular chakra. Right? That is the reason things have been put in a mantra.
Okay.
Like Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. So if you chant it that way, it is much better than chanting the bija akshara by itself in order to activate that particular chakra.
Okay.
You can chant, but for a very minimal amount of time.
Okay.
It's not like 108 or like take it to 1008. Don't do so many times the bija aksharas.
Okay.
Okay, bija aksharas have to be chanted very minimal number of times, but chant as a mantra.
Okay.
And when it comes to mantra, my personal observation when I started Gayatri Mantra at the age of 20 myself, that I started experiencing it when I started chanting it the right way. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. This is the right pace.
Okay.
Pace can vary with some people, but if you chant it like Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha, like a song, it is not going to have the kind of impact that the actual chanting has.
Okay.
Because this one chanting of Gayatri Mantra has 500,000 vibrations in it. It is considered the most powerful mantra. Okay? And that too, it depends whether you're doing Antar Gayatri or Bahik Gayatri. Okay? So, if you're doing just for your internal thing, okay, then time is not a constraint. You can do at any point of time. But as such, no mantra is less powerful, I would say. The reason is, only people who just chant Om. Okay? For me to say that Om is not powerful, I need to go to the end of it, which might take me lifetimes in order to prove that it is not correct.
It is not correct, yeah.
Right? So, any mantra, if you pick whatever you're comfortable, because that's what your body echoes with, right? Try not to do something which is causing you headache. When you do it, that should give you calmness.
Calmness, not in a stress you should
Exactly.
not do it.
Neither you should do it in a stress, nor upon doing it should cause you any stress.
Yes, and it should not be like an exercise we are doing.
Exactly.
It should come from heart.
It should come from heart. So you need to see what is truly echoing with your body.
Yes.
Right?
And willingness.
And willingness, of course. Having an open mind to try is the first thing. The second thing is the willingness to do it, and then you have to see whether you're able to echo with it or not.
Yes.
Right?
Harmony is needed.
Yes, that's harmony. Right?
Yes.
So, yeah, does it answer?
Yes, a lot of things. It is getting clear to me too. So, how can we apply ancient wisdom with the Eastern traditions to navigate the fast-paced, technology-driven world we are living in today?
There are so many ways in which we can answer this, but
I know this one podcast will not work.
So my way is, for several years, this is my conclusion that this is a very fast-paced life that we are actually living in, right? So first thing is we need to prioritize our health, which means we need to be taking time for ourselves, no matter what, because nothing is more important to me than me in this world.
Yes.
Right? If I have 10 different things to do on my list, and today I'm only able to accomplish 5 of them, I would rather not worry and push the 5 to the next day, because I would actually make a list and prioritize which ones are more important for me to do today.
Yes.
The next 5 will go to the next day. I would not even care. The reason is the very thought that before you sleeping, that, oh my God, I have 5 more things to do which I couldn't do today. I definitely need to add this to my list, which has 10 more tomorrow. That very thought, if you're going to go and hit the bed, your night is going to be disturbed, the morning is going to be disturbed. You know why? The conscious thought during your night is going to go to your subconscious.
Yes.
And this is becoming a mantra for you because it is your habit.
This is becoming a circle also.
This is a circle, and this is becoming your habit is to think like that. So change your thoughts. First of all, nothing is more important to me than my own health. Should be your priority. Take time for your own health. No matter what. And many are things that when, so many people come and, attend my classes, I tell them this part. Also, I tell them this mudra while you're in the meeting. Do this mudra. If you have cough, do linga mudra. Because this is for the fire, Agni.
Okay.
Thumb is Agni.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
this is Vayu. Okay, this is Akash. This is Prithvi. This is Jala.
Okay.
Right? So, doing it, holding it like this, putting it closer to your chest actually creates warmth in your body, and that reduces the phlegm in your body too. Okay? So, doing these mudras or acupressure points during your meetings, or while you're working, reading something, subtle breathing, subtle pranayama, which I cannot do all the time. Right? You don't have to make a lot of noise or do Kapalabhati at your work, right? So, which is only, good if done in the morning. So, subtle breathing, longer breaths, like if you can do that, longer inhalations and longer exhalations will calm your mind, keep you focused. And another thing which I believe in is a conscious living.
Yes.
That's the biggest aspect. Worrying about what has happened in the past, bringing those thoughts in this moment, in this present, is spoiling not only your future, but the present as well.
Yes.
So why are we spoiling our present by thinking about the past? It's not in your hands. That's gone. Accept the fact that you did a mistake. You're not a perfectionist. You're not a yogi. You're not a god.
Yes. Right? And mistakes make us learn also.
Exactly. That's what you learn. You know that how not to do it. Right?
At least.
Or at least rectify that, okay, that's a mistake. And another aspect, when you just brought this, right? Another aspect, if you look at Ho'oponopono or something, like you actually accepting the fact.
Yes, like saying, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, this kind of a confession not only clears your heart, your mind, your karmas, along with the other person whom you've tied up that karma with. If you go tell to that person, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, it releases the negative emotion from his mind and heart. That neutralizes your karma with them, their karma with you. You're burning your karmas right there.
Okay.
All this can happen only if we are confessing.
Yes.
From the heart. From the heart.
Yes, of course. Everything is from the heart. Otherwise, nobody can make you do.
Exactly. So, conscious living is what I would definitely suggest. Just do one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Forget future, forget past. One thing at a time. Our mind is capable of doing so many other things, but given these days compared to 15 years ago, with the smartphones, with the number of apps, with the time that we are spending on WhatsApp and other social media, our minds are running elsewhere.
Yes.
Our body is not able to match up the pace with the mind.
Even when we are reading any message, we are thinking 10 different things.
Exactly. So, our very thought, while eating the food, you're not feeling the taste of it because we are watching the TV.
Yeah.
Right? If we change everything to some extent, I'm not saying become a yogi, that's not possible.
That is not possible.
That's not possible. That's not practical enough. So all we could do is at least change a few aspects of our life.
Yes.
Right? Taking time for yourself. Do certain things consciously, at least the eating part of it.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
What are the signs of Kundalini awakening and how one safely navigate this powerful transformation?
Kundalini awakening is...
It's a very huge subject, I know.
It's a very huge...
So,
yes, I totally get you. So, yeah. So, my point is, like, initially, when you really see that, some people have severe backaches.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Only after they start doing it. But again, there are so many techniques out there, Kundalini Yoga, which I would never recommend, because the reason is, without even knowing where that individual is, at what level of consciousness he is, somebody is trying to just help you to push the Kundalini through their techniques, which is not correct. It has to happen in a natural way. The reason is, if there is so much of surge from your Mooladhara, Swadhisthana to your Manipura, okay, and then your liver, which is the biggest organ which is obstructing, is kind of clogged because it has so much of emotion stuck in it. This is going to cause a lot of health issues. Okay?
Yeah.
So, do anything in the Sahaj way, which is a natural way, which is through pranayama, okay, listening to some sound frequencies and doing some chantings and things of this nature, or some yogic exercises and things like that, rather than trying to adopt a technique which is going to push your Kundalini and then your emotions are getting stuck everywhere. This can cause so many health concerns.
Yeah. And you have to learn from someone who knows.
Exactly. That is true. That is true. Exactly.
Because you cannot learn from anyone.
Anyone. You can't learn it from anyone. That's, especially,
So what are the common causes of energy blockages and what are the best practices to clear them?
First thing is the mind.
Yes. Yes.
We need to clear our mind, and again the physical aspect of it is the food aspect. Compared to 40-50 years ago, what we are today having is all adulterated, right?
Yes.
The vegetables, organic also have so many chemicals in it, right? So all these are getting stored into our body, and these are causing so much of disturbance. And if you look at the milk, even back in India also, even though they are all mostly A2 cows and all that, milk was not considered as something which was so edible directly. If you look at Sri Krishna, milk was drawn and then made yogurt, curds, फिर वहाँ से the makhan, and then you had all the byproducts, the ghee. Those were the best because they underwent a process of fermentation, right? Not the milk. Milk by itself is very acidic.
Then you have to boil and the process is there.
So, we directly consuming that milk. Milk is usually a hindrance. And and the processed foods are basically, are
I try to avoid.
Yes, exactly. So, if these at the food level, and then the mind, if you can calm your mind, you're detoxifying your mind.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So through food you can detoxify it. Through other cleansing aspects you can do for any cleansing. If you look at you want to do a kidney cleansing or a liver gallbladder cleanse, the first thing you need to do is your colon cleanse. Okay. First do the colon cleanse. After few days go with the liver cleanse. And then again do the colon cleanse. The reason is colon is where the food is absorbed into our body, right? So if any dirt is trying to go from there, if it absorbs the dirt, like the liver is throwing out some stones, the gallbladder is throwing out stones, and if it is going through your colon, and if you're not doing a detox again of your colon, it should be done, but there is a method in which you have to do the detox. Okay. So through food, through mind, through physical activities, through breathing, Kapalabhati and many other things, that we can do the cleansing, and this is how we detoxify our body, mind.
Yes, long process by the way.
Yes.
how does breathwork enhance the movement of Shi, Ki, Shakti? What techniques are most effective?
The pranayama, as we speak, right? When you say the breathing exercises. So first, in order to kind of easen up your lungs and to be able to inhale more. As I said, I basically usually have a little bit of water, because the moment you wake up after a gap of 10 hours or so, so you need to hydrate yourself because your body is already dehydrated. So you take, after your brushing, you take a little bit of water, do a little bit of bodily movements, and then I activate my lungs. Okay, on both sides, because we have on two sides this point to be applied on both sides. You're loosening the lungs. Then you do Bhastrika. When you do Bhastrika, you take a deep inhalation and you do that for 3-4 minutes. And then you go to Anulom Vilom. This is another. Then you go to Kapalabhati, right? And then I come to this Brahmari Udgit. That is amazing, because it truly improves the nitric oxide in your brain. And it is amazing. I mean, these are the 4 pranayamas I'm very much into. However, I've learned another Brahma Vidya from another guru. So that is almost like looks like a Kapalabhati and Brahmari, but it's a very different technique. So that I cannot actually, because I haven't trained anyone. I cannot do that. I cannot share it with anybody. So these 4 techniques for sure that I can definitely suggest to anybody.
Is there any scientific evidence that supports the existence of these energy systems, and how you can explore these things to open our mind?
To open our mind?
Yes. Is there any scientific evidences like it happened?
Well, I mean, honestly speaking, if we look at our own history and Vedic periods and all that, we had Pushpaka Vimanas. How did in Hanuman Chalisa they were able to calculate this distance?
Yes.
From to the sun, Earth to the sun, that distance was precisely mentioned. So the science was already kind of discovered. Right? So, and again, if someone has to know this, I mean, through Reiki I can say, because Reiki is a distant healing modality. And when I came to this country in 2000, that, so many people were against it here. They were treating this as a black magic and things like that, because the science of the unseen, something that which is not in a physical form that you cannot see, should not be considered as a black magic. If one doesn't understand, try to understand it rather than trying to, prove it that this doesn't work. However, in the subsequent years, in Washington DC, in several hospitals, that stage 3 AIDS patients were cured using Reiki.
That's wonderful.
Without a touch, they were there simply passing the energy. How did it get cured? Right? So there is the science. The science is they drawing the cosmic energy into them and simply transmitting it. And how do you connect with anybody if, like 2 people of the same kind of a frequency can actually sit together and talk together? If people are from 2 different frequencies, there is no match. We can't even get well,
That's why
together.
we talk about matching the vibes.
Exactly. So, at a physical level, like poles repel each other, but at a metaphysical level, quantum level, they attract each other. So this science of the unseen, is being proved in hospitals, in so many hospitals in this country and across the globe also, that has been applied. So how people have to, accept. If you don't accept, that's fine. But for you to know the truth behind it, you need to have an unbiased mind in order to understand what it is doing, rather than going with an opinion, trying to see where you can actually say it doesn't work.
So as we are towards the end of the podcast, would you like to show the things we are having over there?
Okay. These are tuning forks. These are the tuning forks. As I've been saying that, every organ and, the chakras do have some, frequencies and all that. So this is a 256 hertz frequency. So if you can actually put it somewhere here, or a lower frequency, you can put it here, that basically starts creating or generating the incorrect patterns into a correct pattern. Okay. So this is 256. This is, I think, 384, I guess. Yeah, a 128. This is even a lower frequency. Okay. And this is a 512. This is a 512 hertz frequency. So this has more.
Yeah, you can hear louder sound.
And it lasts longer too. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if people can actually, listen to YouTube, there are so many frequencies that are being actually, you have videos that if they can actually, I do that all the time. Play a 528 or a 852 or a 963 at your home in TV. That is going to cleanse your home.
Okay. That's a wonderful tip you have given. People will definitely follow you. And thank you very much for our podcast. And please do subscribe our channel. And thank you very much.
Absolutely, Aditi ji. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. Thanks a lot.